So when you think Halloween, you think candy, and whether it be for your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, or maybe even an office party or whatever it may be, presenting the candy is always a fun thing to do, a fun reason to craft for Halloween. So today we're going to put together our Smiley Jack treat basket, and it's pretty straightforward. And I've got everything in front of me here, so let's just jump right in. First thing we're going to do is put together the main structure, and you'll notice that, well, the front and back have the little, well, this little section where the scallops are. Let me move it up here so you can see it. It's a little bit different than this one. This is just straight, and this has a couple extra little bumps, and that's where our jack-o'-lantern is going to go. Now, another thing too is you'll notice on the bottom where the tabs are at the bottom, there's some Roman numerals. Okay, and we've got 1, 2, 3. You just want to make sure that we put them together in the correct order. Okay, so here's piece number 1. Here's piece number 2. We're going to connect 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3, and then 3 to 4, and so on and so forth. So let's get our glue on the tab on the side of piece 1, and let's get that glue out to the edge so that we have a nice clean seam. And you can do this flat. Just make sure you line everything up as accurately as possible, especially right up at the top. And then you can take this and fold it onto itself. In doing so, you can check the little scallops here up at the top and make sure that they sit nice and flush on top of each other. And that will, well, that pretty much tells you that you did it right. And then if you are like me and you're using the perforated versions, you can kind of flatten it out with a little bone folder, or in my case, a little scraper, just so that it's not as pronounced. Okay, so now this is piece number 2. Moving right along here. Let me clean off this nozzle. I just cleaned my glue bottle so that it flows nicely for us. And we'll get our glue on side tab on piece number 2. And let's work that glue out to the edge. Just like that. Clean up any excess you may have. Make sure you grab piece number 3. And again, I'm kind of looking at the top and the bottom, making sure that I've got it nice and aligned as accurately as possible. And give it a press and then fold it over onto itself. And check your scallops. Give it a little bit of a nudge if necessary, just to make sure that the alignment is nice and spot on. There we go. Give that a second to set. Okay, so the third side is together. And now piece number 4. Piece number 4 is 4 lines, but in the shape of a square. Okay, so just make sure you get the right piece. It's the last one. It's number 4, so there are no other pieces like this, so shouldn't get that confused. And let's get that glue out to the edge. Again, there we go. You can put that flat on your surface and get that nice and lined up. And press that down. And go ahead and fold it over onto itself. And check your scallops. Make sure that they are nice and aligned. Give that one more press. And there we go. Okay, so we've got 4 of the sides. Well, we got it almost put together. Now, while it's flat, I'm going to actually put our panels on. Okay, and now you'll notice that in the bottom corners here, there are some markers to help you with the placement of this. Okay, so the little scallop section here is going to be a little bit more pronounced than these borders here. So we can start gluing that down. And as you can see, our art director on the back of this looks like Easter paper because it is. The other side is just the pattern that he was looking for this project. So just because it's Easter doesn't mean that it won't work. Okay, now of course I went ahead and I inked this with a little bit of purple to give it that Halloween touch. Okay, so use the little guides there to help you with the placement. And just drop that into place. Here we go. Ooh, where did that come from? Well, good thing that's going to be covered up. See that little splotch there? Where's that coming from? Anyways, all right, so why don't we just cover that up with this piece here. This is going to go like so. And you can see that that's going to match up right up there. There's going to be a little bit of a border up there. Okay, but let's get our glue on this piece. It's probably from the glue bottle when it fell over. I didn't notice, but you probably did in the video. I don't know how it got there. Okay, so we've got a lot of surface area here. Try to make sure that you get enough glue around the perimeter, and then go pretty easy on the inside here. You don't need to cover every single inch of it. It's not necessary. Okay, using my guides again here at the bottom for my initial placement, and then just popping it right into place and centering it, making sure that I've got a nice even border right up at the top here where we have that design. And if you got any of that glue kind of squirting out, just rub it off before it sets. Okay, and that's what it should look like up at the top. There we go. And we'll grab our other piece here, get this down, and then we can go ahead and finish up assembling the actual structure. We did also include some pattern paper for the inside to cover up the tabs and just make it look nice. Okay, so again, using my little guides there at the bottom, getting that in place, and then just dropping it right into place, just like that. There we go. Okay. And that just leaves one more over here, and this is also another one with the irregular little pattern or cutout up at the top. I got way too much glue there. I don't want that spilling out. Again, work the perimeter, make sure that nothing's pulling off. And get your glue on the rest of this piece. There we go. Just kind of hold it like that on the sides. Find those guides and just drop it into place. Make sure that that top has a nice even border. And just run your fingers along the perimeter. And there we go. Okay, great. So most of the structure is done now, and all we need to do is just connect it together now. So we can go ahead and put our glue on this tab. So let's do that. Nice thin little line towards the bottom. Spread that glue to the very, very edge. And we should be able to just pop this down on our surface and connect it like that, because everything is symmetrical. And it should lie nice and flat. And we should be able to fold it over onto that seam, and it should also lie flat. And that's a good indication that, well, we did a good job. Okay, there we go. So there's your basket. You can flip this over now. And what I would do is we're gonna put the bottom on. Okay, now there's two pieces like this. One has a tiny little L cut into it. That's the liner for the inside. This is the one that's gonna go on the outside. Now, I'm gonna begin by gluing it to a side that has this pattern on there, that shape, because that's gonna be, well, more than likely people are gonna be looking at that part of it the most. So I wanna make sure I do my best work pointing towards the focal point, so to speak. Let me get that glue out to the very edge and spread a little bit more over there. Grab the piece that does not have the L and pop that right into place. Make sure it's nice and centered. There we go. And once it's centered, you can take it and put it down on your table and press down. Don't worry about the fact that it's swaying like that. That's not a problem. Okay, there we go. Now, I can flip this over this way, move that out of the way. We're going to get our glue on the remaining 3 tabs. It's okay if you go a little heavy, because we're going to spread that glue out up to the edge. Like that. And we got one more. Okay. And push that tab in so that when you spread this over, there we go. Get that all the way out to the edges there so that when we close it up, everything looks nice and clean. All right, so you can flare these tabs up, bring this down, and what you want to do is focus on aligning the side opposite of the side that's already hinged. So make sure that that has good contact and is nice and aligned, and then the rest of it should just kind of fall into place. If you need to give it a nudge in, you can do so. That looks good. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to push I was going to say press and push at the same time. Just press from the inside to get those tabs to really stick. And there is your bottom. And we can take this piece that has the little L on it and glue that down. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of glue right in the center there and put that down right there. And that's just going to reinforce the bottom, make it nice and sturdy for us. Don't worry about that glue shooting out. We're going to cover all that up. Okay, so while we're still working on this, we can go ahead and put our internal liners in. Okay, and those are going to go just like this. The scallop parts, what we want to do is match up the little scallops with the very top where the blacks, in my case, the black scallops are already there. It's going to create some nice little black sections here, kind of like little borders, I guess you could say. But let's go ahead and do that. Let's get our glue on this. Try to work some of that glue into the little scallop areas there. Okay, and then of course work some glue around the perimeter and just a little bit on the inside. And just kind of drop that in there. Maybe grab it by the 2 little tips at the end and just match it up with the existing scallops there. Okay, and then once those are aligned, you can put this down on your surface and just push from the inside to get that to hold nicely for us. Okay, so it really kind of cleans it up and makes it look nice in there. And of course, there's a different piece for the piece that has the little, the different little top part where it's not all just scallops, but you'll see when we finish this up, the reason for that is because we've got a little pumpkin, or a little jack-o'-lantern is going to go up there. And that's why it's different. So again, get your glue out to the perimeter and then just work a little bit on the inside. You don't need a lot. Okay, and just match that up with the very top. Make sure that it's nice and aligned. And then you can place that down on your surface and push from the inside. And we're not really going to see much of this anyway because we're going to be filling it with probably some crinkle fill and some candy, obviously. But once it's done and everyone in your office or in your home is eating all the candy, you'll have a nice little basket that you can certainly reuse again next year, and everyone can see how meticulous and detailed your crafting is. All right, so let's just get that in there. Again, this is not really facing anybody, So I'm not overly concerned about every little aspect of it being perfect, but it will be a nice little touch. Okay, so we'll put that down on our surface. Just run your finger around the perimeter. Give it a press in the center. And there you go. One more. And then we've got one more piece that's going to go in the center and the bottom, just to keep it kind of consistent. And then the rest of this, so there's two little bases that we're going to put together for it. And then we've got the little pumpkins, which is mostly just a little paper piecing sort of project that we're going to use some foam squares to give dimension to. And before you know it, you have your cute little basket ready to go. And hopefully there's not a bunch of glue on my table. There we go. Okay, and that just leaves our little square. So let's throw some glue on our square. Pop that guy right in the center. Just like this. And try to create a nice even border inside there if you can. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, how did yours come out so far? Oh, good, I hope. Yep, there we go. Okay, so let us put together our little pumpkin guy. Okay, so we've got, now you're gonna do this twice because there's two of them. I'm gonna show you how to do it once because I don't think I need to show you twice. But we will need a purple piece, in my case, a purple piece like this. And then we've got this clay or brown piece, two leaves, and I don't think I have the right ones. Well, let me get the leaves out because I think they're mirrored. And then you've got three pieces like this. We've got two in a pattern, one in a solid cardstock, and then of course we have the pumpkin's face, the jack-o'-lantern's face, I should say. And I guess technically you could omit the mouth and the eyes and the nose and just make it for fall, should you want to do that. But that is totally up to you. But what we're gonna do is, the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to layer, and I'm gonna flip this over because I'm gonna start putting some foam squares on this. We're gonna use foam squares for the well, the top two layers actually. So this, you know what, this is going to get glued on straight onto our little basket, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah. So technically, you know what, we can go ahead and glue this down right now. So let's do that. Let's just get this glued down. Sorry that I'm jumping around here, but I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, so get your glue on. This is the largest piece of the pumpkin, or the jack-o'-lantern. Okay, and we want to match it up with the previous piece so that we maintain that black border. Okay, so I kind of want it to look like that. And I did ink the edges of this because I want it to have some contrast between all the pieces. You can put that down on your surface too and press down. Okay, so we want it to look like that. Okay, now I'm going to take this next layer and we're going to add our foam squares. Okay, so I've got foam squares staggered throughout this piece here, and I'm just going to kind of lay it in place without actually adhering it just yet. I want to get a feel for how it's sitting and see if there are any little areas where, and you know what, I'm going to add one about here, and then I'm going to add another one here just to make sure that it really sits nice and secure for me. So we'll peel this off and let's get this on. I wouldn't worry too much about the little perimeter pieces here, like the little vines, because those are just, they're so thin, I don't really think it's necessary. But you do want to just make sure that when you pop this on, you match it up with the existing one that's right behind it. Okay, just like that. Okay, so we've got a little bit of dimension there. Now for this one, I'm going to put the rest of the pieces on this first before we actually put the pop dots on. So let's grab this piece, and this is all going to go flush, and then we're going to pop dot the end result onto the other one. Okay, so we do need to glue this down onto this section here. So let's get our glue in gear and work a little bit out to these extremities here so they don't come peeling back. Perimeters, extremities, whatever you want to call them. Okay, and just a nice little line down to the vine. I'm really rhyming a lot today, aren't I? And a little extra there. That was starting to dry up. Okay, so just want to match this up with the existing piece here that we're gluing it to. Not difficult at all. Do your best to make sure that it's in alignment. Just like that. Give that a squeeze and give it a press. Okay. All right, so we got that. Next piece is going to be this guy here, the brown part of our leaves. And that's going to need glue on its entirety. So work that glue onto the entire piece. Just get as much surface area as you can, especially out at the tips. Try to make sure you get that covered. Okay, and just pop that into place. That's going to match up with the existing piece as well. There we go. And then find the corresponding leaves that go with it, like that. And these are going to need glue all the way, pretty much on the entire piece here. I mean, not literally, but all the way around. And this feels like a Cartabella paper. Just has that nice texture to it. Okay, so just match that up nicely. There we go. And then the other one. Okay. And just line that up. Press it down. There we go. Okay, so that just leaves our nose and our eyes and the mouth. And you'll notice that on this piece here, there are some markers to help you with the placement. The nose is going to go right there on that marker. Okay, and then we've got some eyeballs. I'm going to make sure that I get the right ones. Okay, so you'll notice that if you tilt the eyes, well, if you keep them like kind of straight, one side's going to be a little bit longer. Okay, that's the side that's going to be on the outside of his face. Okay, so the part that's in the center of his face is going to be a little bit shorter. And of course, there are some little markers there to help you with the placement. So just get those placed nicely. And that's going to make sure that our little pumpkin here is nice and symmetrical. Okay. And just pop that right into the little markers, like so. And then we've got a little mouth form here, and there are also some markers for his mouth. Let me figure out what I'm doing here. There we go. That's how that works. And you'll notice that the little edges of it are kind of sticking off. So don't put glue on the entire mouth. Just start in the center, get the center really good, and then just go out to about there. The rest of it should pretty much hold just fine. It's a very, very small little piece. And just use those markers to help you with the alignment. Press that down. There we go. All right, now we can flip her over and apply our little foam squares here. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on this just to make sure that it's not jostling around. I think that would be enough there. So we'll peel these off. Now keep in mind that you are going to do this one more time because we do have a jack-o'-lantern on both sides of this little treat basket, so that kind of no matter where you have it, they're going to be able to see our little jack-o'-lantern. And then of course you want to line this up with the existing little shadow part and just press that down, and there we go. And that looks really cool once it's all together, huh? Okay, so you want to scrub back and rewind, or if you, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory now that you've done it once, but you're going to grab these pieces, same ones that we just did, and you're going to do the same exact thing with the other side. Make sure you've got your mouth and your nose. Okay, so there is your basket. And I will meet you back here once you get your other jack-o'-lantern in place. Okay, so we've got jack number 1 and jack number 2, both in place. The sides are just going to be plain, and technically I could just use it like this, but we have included a 2-tiered little base for this, just to make it look nicer. And we're going to assemble that right now. So I've already got everything pre-folded here. We're just going to take these little tabs here and glue them to their neighbors. So we'll start with this one here, the one that's connected to the top or bottom, this piece here. And let's kind of dab that a little bit and tuck it behind the neighboring wall. Get it nice and aligned and give it a press. Got a little excess glue that's coming off my fingers there. That's okay though. All right, fold that in and get your glue on the next tab. And we'll just tuck that behind this wall. Get it aligned and squeeze. There we go. Okay, and then moving on, we got 2 more. Get our glue on that one and tuck it behind, give it a squeeze. That should do it, and that just leaves 1 more here. You can see it in here. It's right here. It's kind of might be hard to see because it's black on black. But get that glue out to the very edge and line it up and squeeze and give it a press. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Now we want to go ahead and put our glue on the remaining tabs here. So close this up, and don't be afraid to go a little heavier on the glue here because we're going to end up kind of spreading that out right up to the very edge, like so. And I got to work kind of quick because I went a little light on the glue there. But that's okay because it's going to... All right, so close it up and try to get it aligned with the side opposite of the side that it's hinged to first, and the rest of it will just fall into place. And kind of run your finger along the seam there. And there we go. The cool part about this is that once we get this on, if we didn't do a great job, which of course we did, here's our top, we can always flip it over because this part was already connected and it already looks good. I'm just taking my little scraper and flattening out the little perforations. Okay. And this piece, it's a perfect square. We've got some little panels that are going to go on here. And we've got, this one's pretty simple because we've got a nice even border going all the way around. There's just a little panel. So let's get our glue onto the panel here. Make sure that you get a little bit of glue right out to the very edge so that doesn't come peeling off. And just get that nice and centered on this piece, like so. And we can flip it and do the same thing with the next one. And you're going to repeat this 3 more times until we get all of them on there. Got a little excess glue that shot out there, but that's okay. Oops. There we go. 2 more, and then we've got the second tier of our base to construct. That's going to go together really quick, and then I think afterwards I'm going to throw some gold pearls on that just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. And we will have our little treat basket complete and ready for some candy and ready for the big day, which is on a Thursday this year. So I'm going to take my girlfriend's kids trick-or-treating. She has the night off. She's a nurse, and she works the overnight shift, so she's got Halloween off. That worked out nicely. It should be a national holiday. All right, so there's that base, and then again, we've got another base here, and this one, it's not straight, it kind of curves in a little bit, okay? And just need to, I mean, the assembly is going to be exactly the same, it's just slightly different because of the angle. So go ahead and grab your glue and start putting it on these little triangular tabs, just like we did with the black one, and get that aligned. Now, it's going to be a little bit, you're going to have to get your finger in there because of the angle. It might be a little trickier, but just like that. Okay, you can see how that is angled there. Let me see what, there you go. You can see that, see the angle there. Okay, so moving right along here to the next tab. Get that in place. Just tuck that under, and if it helps, move the big tab out of the way so that you can get your finger in there easier. And actually, if you want to make it even easier, grab a dowel or something and use the dowel, skinnier than your finger, to press from the inside if you're having a hard time getting your finger in there. And that'll do the trick nicely. Okay, so that just leaves these 2 sides, and we may need to, I'm going to go a little bit heavier on the glue, and I'm going to put it on both of these tabs, because I have a feeling that because of the angle, it may be a little difficult to get your glue in there after the fact. So let's just get it on both tabs, give that a squeeze, and then hold it. Okay, and then go on over to this side. It would help to move that tab out of the way. And just give that a squeeze. Okay, so just be patient while these final little corners set. I actually had to reapply my glue to that one because it kind of came undone. But that's okay. I'm gonna be patient there because there's a nice thick layer of glue, and this is what I always talk about, how you don't want to use too much glue because then you're going to be sitting there waiting for everything to dry, you know, that much longer. But that is fine, and that looks good. So I can go ahead and lift this up, and we're going to, just like we did with the black piece, we're going to apply our glue to our large tabs here. Make sure you get a little bit of glue out to the very corners here. And and work that glue out to the edge. Okay, and you can flare these out a little bit and then push this down and just work on getting the side opposite of this side aligned. You might need to kind of give that a little bit of a nudge in to get it to align accurately. And then work the other sides. Just run your finger along the edges where the two sections meet. There we go. Okay, and this is going to be our bottom. So the top is going to look nice and polished, just like that. Okay. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to glue this right to the center of this part here, the first part of our little base. Okay, so let's do that. Put your glue on this piece here. And I'm going to work that glue out to the edges again because I want it to look nice and flush and seamless. Throw a little extra glue on there. There we go. Just like that. And maybe just a little bit in the center here. Okay, so just kind of get an eagle-eyed view. Pop that down. Make sure it's as centered as you can get it. Give it a little nudge if you need to get it nice and centered and square. That looks good to me. Okay, so that is intact. And then all we need to do is take this and glue it to this part here. You'll notice that on this section here, there's some markers there to help you with that alignment. So go ahead and get your glue on the bottom of our main basket. And I'm going to go a little heavy on the perimeter here so that I can get that glue right out to the edge and make that nice and seamless looking too. Just like that. And if you have too much, just take some and just pop it right in the middle so that you don't get any kind of going overboard. There we go. Okay, and like I mentioned, we do have little indicators there to help you with the placement. So you can kind of look at it from one side here, make sure that you've got it aligned, and then just drop it right into place. I'm gonna hold it like this and check my work on the other side, and that looks perfect. So that is it. Going to add some, probably some either rhinestones or some gold pearls to the purple tier. And there you have it. There's your adorable yet festive and spooky little treat basket. Perfect for whoever and wherever, whether it be work, school, just for your kids, your grandkids. They're going to love it, and they're especially going to love what you put inside of it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. That lets me know that you enjoy crafting with me and you love our products. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, we'd love to see it. So join us in the official group on Facebook by doing a search for Dreaming Tree Group, where you can join myself and the 15,000 plus other dreamers that inspire us daily. So thank you again for hanging out with me, and I look forward to crafting with you next time. Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.